Again, hello. We're going to be talking about the Annex N, which is the expenses document that you're going to have to use when you're dealing with your clients for any expenses they might incur. And when it's completed, it will need scanning to your documents section of the client's file record, along with receipts, certificates, attendance lists, that sort of thing, all of which, apart from the Annex N, will need to be stamped as certified as that you've seen the original. It's generally completed in longhand, and you can get to it by going to the National Lottery Community Fund front page, and there's the address up the top there. So if you want to take a note of that and put a shortcut on your front page, and then scrolling down past all the annexes, many of which you don't use, there's Annex H, which is the entry form, I, the progress form, J, the exit form. And we come down all the way to the Annex N. Okay, that's what we want, the Annex N. Now I have saved a copy of this somewhere, and we're going to have a look at this. You download it, you can print it off in order to take it with you. Okay, now it's a pretty straightforward document. What you're going to do is type in all the details. If it's filled in correctly, your client will be reimbursed. If it's not, well, then there's a bit of wrangling and there's the potential for money to be held back. So please make sure that it's done properly. It's used whenever a client needs reimbursing for any expenses they incur, or where they're given an allowance to help them on their journey, as it says here. And note that note that all the items that are purchased are only to be used for ESF purposes. That's something they must know about. So you print this off, and in longhand you will put in the organisation name. So in this case it would be, let me enable editing and I can do this. Yes, there we go. Yeah. It's VCS for me. The participant name, we called him Donaldus Trumpius. No resemblance to anyone on this planet. You will always need to put in the NI number. It's a unique identifier. Let's put that in properly, shall we? That's there, and the customer reference number is the G-Link number. Everybody will have a G-Link number. Okay, so it's G-Link 00819, and that will always come back to refer. These two are unique identifiers for the project, and always refer back to this man here. So then we come down to part 2. In the description box here, what you're going to need to do is to provide full details of the expense. For example, the journey along the journey that the client might have taken, along with the ticket or the receipt. So if he's on a train, that sort of thing. If there are any other expenses, you've also got to make sure that they're eligible, and also explain why the costs were incurred. So what we're going to do is pretend that we have sent somebody for a course, so they don't drive at the moment, so it's going to be a train journey from home, and home, we'll know where home is because the unique identifiers, these two here, will actually tie back to a name as well, so, and an address. From home and return for manual handling course at ABC training services, High Street, Sleaford. Let's put another one in there. No doubt somebody will tell me off. And a postcode as well. So it should be a full address that you're going to put in here. 9ZZ. You're going to need date, and it's the date the thing actually takes place. It's not the date of the invoice, it's the date it actually takes place. So we're going to call it 12th of the 6th, 2019. And the amount is going to be, I don't know, £4.60. Okay, so that's there. Now this individual has children, or a child, so they're going to have a childcare expense to pay for. So childcare costs for manual handling course to be held 12062019. Again, it's the date it actually takes place, not the time of the invoice or anything else that goes on. And that's going to be 12062019, and it's quite an expensive one. It's going to be £32. So that's there. Now if the individual was using a car, you would, this is an example here, you would put car journey of 20 miles, return at 45 pence per mile, and then you'd work that one out. That's £9. Okay, 45 pence is the government recommended reimbursement if you use your car. Just put it in there. Okay, car journey of 20 miles return at 45 pence per mile, £9. There we go. And again, the date. Let's put the date in there just to wrap things up properly. Easily. So that's that done. We move on to the next bit. Make sure you're always using the latest forms. At the bottom of all the funders forms will be the latest version and a date, and it's always best if you get them straight off the funders website, because they will always have the latest one on board. Okay, right, as it says at the top here, you've got to provide proof of the expense, you know, receipts, tickets, petrol bills, that sort of thing, an invoice from the family, from the childcare provider. Now the childcare provider doesn't, obviously we want best value for money, but if the individual has a child that's always going to a particular childcare organisation, then carry on using them. The children are happy there, the parents are obviously happy sending their children there. Might not be the very cheapest, but you can put an explanation of what's going on in this box here. Okay, this is where you should explain the cost benefit. For example, the reason for the train might be because, let's just put this here, where did that go? There we go. The reason for the train being taken is that there are no buses, and the cost of a taxi is extremely cost prohibitive. Let's go back. So therefore the train is the best cost option. It might also be the client does not own a vehicle of any sort. There we go. So if you're talking of 20 miles, you know, he's not going to get on a push bike and cycle off, or she isn't going to go on a push bike and cycle off to do this sort of thing. So train, if it's there, is an ideal thing. Childcare costs. The provider was chosen as best value for money, and also because the child is used to this particular child provider. There we go. There we go. The times covered by the provider also were best suited to the course timings. There we go. You've explained everything you need to do. If you were going to do something else as well, let's just sort that one out, shall we? Nobody mentioned that to me. Delete, there we go, and delete. Oh dear, that's dreadful. It might well be that you're beginning to sort out some online training for somebody. They may not have a laptop, so you're going to go and look for a laptop. Contact us first to let us know what's going on, and it's best if you get 3 quotes, all of which need to be uploaded to the documents folder. We need evidence that you've been out there looking for the best value for money for your individual. So it's basically follow the guidance up here to fill this box in here. On to part 3. Part 3, well, here we go. Allowances are used to help the client progress. So we're looking at clothing, courses, that sort of thing. And also we need to explain how the allowance will benefit the client and help them to get to a place in their lives where employment is a real possibility, and that's what we're all about. And don't forget to enter the total cost allowance at the bottom of the text box there. So there are the points of guidance. Just read them. Make sure you read them and you understand what they're asking for. And part 3 will have also a box for you. So I'm just going to put some pointers in for you. You need to provide a brief description of the event. For example, the course, which is what we're talking about here. Okay, why are you not? Oh, here we go. Provide a brief description of the event, the course, which is what we're sending the individual on, and why the participant is doing it. Course. Well, he's doing it obviously to get experience, training, that sort of thing. That will set him up for further employment. That's the sort of thing you need to put in there. You need to explain the benefit to the participant, i.e. What impact it will have on the individual. It's going to help them gain employment. And then, because you've asked around and you know that this course provides good value for money amongst other training providers. So that's generally there. Make sure that you do give a description of what's gone on and why the participant's doing it, explain the benefit, and explain that the course is the best one you can find for them. Okay, and that's going to be 260. So, oops. Zero. Oh goodness me, bad. So that's there. So you're going to tell them all about the course and everything that goes with it, and that's going to be the cost of the course. You're going to have an invoice to cover that, which will have been paid out. Okay. You need now to tick all these boxes. Okay. Tick, tick, tick. You're going to have to put a name in there. This is the participant. What did we say? Trump. Yes. Brr. So that's what he's going to be, and the date is the 030. No, this is, what date did we say? There's 12. So we go for 20th of. Okay, and he'll put a wet signature in there, which means you need to print this off and get the individual to sign it, and then you're going to do this here. Going to be and you're going to put the date. Oh goodness me, system. Grr. Right. And sign after you've printed. And that's that. I don't think there's a lot else to tell you. These dates must be the same. That date and that date have to be the same, because you're actually handing money over. That's what the individual's signing for. You're handing money over, so it has to be, there has to be a really good audit trail for money. Otherwise it will turn around and bite you on the bum. So that's the Annex N. Okay. Again, if you've got any problems, please call me, myself, or Jen on 01529 308 450, and we'll endeavour to answer your questions for you.